Last Chance Qualifiers is over. We have all 33 teams into grand finals, and this was one of the craziest tournaments I've ever watched. It's now resulted in Clix being contested, Pollo being contested, Pete is being accused of paying people off to drop on other players, Edgy's now making it his mission to ruin Peterbot's grand finals. We also had Shark's team on EU coming second place 3 times to not qualify to grand finals. There is a lot to talk about. It's changed everything about grands. Let's jump into it. All right, I think the best way to run through this and all the craziness that's now happening, Pollo now being contested, Clix potentially being contested, is to go through and talk about who won each game, show you, and then talk about how this is now affecting grands, because I have never seen a Last Chance Qualifier affect a grand finals more than this. So, kicking off on NA, we had Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx come out and win game 1 with a 14 elim win. Now remember, if you think back to group stages, Muzz's team didn't load into one of the 5 games, and because of this, they were down on points. Clix's team took it upon themselves to then go and take Muzz out of the tournament, target them to make sure they didn't qualify because they were messing up Clix's surge route. So now, I'll show you the end game and then describe where Muzz is now dropping in the finals, because oh boy, it's spicy. Muzz, Sphinx, and Shadow here on the ultimate low ground. 13 eliminations. Looking fantastic. Muzz did tell me in the call earlier that he doesn't think height's going to be the play. He said they think they're going to win from low and mid, and that's what they're positioning for. Muzz throws the med kit, doesn't use it himself. They're setting up for the heal off. How much heal off do they have? Sphinx has 2 heal grenades and the med kit. That's a solid amount of heal off. 6 teams, 10 players, not many trios left standing. Muzz goes down. It's all up to Sphinx with the heal off. Chance is still in this though. Chance has 1 med kit left. It's not looking good. Carbone goes down. It's Chavi. Chavi has the med kit. Natmos has the med kit. Sphinx has the med kit. It's a heal off. It's a 4-way heal off. And Chance goes down. Edgy will not be making it out of game 1. Okay, Chavi, do it for the Hispanic boys. Natmo's trying to find him. Natmo's going to go down. The Frenchies are out of this race. It's the Hispanic boys versus Sphinx. Sphinx has the chug jug. He still has a med miss grenade. Sphinx has the heal off advantage. Unless Chavi can stop him. Sphinx out of the open. Almost gets caught looking. Sphinx pops the heal grenade, and oh my god. Muzz, Sphinx, and Shadow make it to grands, but holy shit. Sphinx almost just sold, I'm going to be honest. An insane performance by Muzz's team. That means they won 7 of their last 8 games in a row, including opens. They won 6 out of 7 in opens and then a 1 of 1 in finals, obviously proving why they 100% deserve to be in the finals. We all knew this, but how is their drop spot situation looking? Now, right after qualifying, Muzz tweeted out that he was dropping at Supernova Academy. And then Sphinx also tweeted out that actions have consequence, implying they were going to give the get back to Clix for what he did to them in groups. They were going to get revenge. They were going to take him out. And honestly, at the time, you probably think that's kind of petty. Why would Muzz do this? But again, Muzz is now contested. Because of what Clix did in groups, Muzz didn't make it to grands quick enough. Skittles, Bryce, and Dash Rudy have now taken his drop spot. So he is contested, guaranteed in grand finals wherever he drops. So Supernova is a better drop with more loot. It is a worse spawn fight though. I mean, to be honest, Resistance Base is a really bad spawn fight as well. So it's 2 pretty bad spawn fights. The loot is better at Supernova, and he has more of a reason to want to take down Clix than Bryce. So it kind of made sense, but if you're a Clix fan, don't panic. It was a joke. I think Muzz just doesn't want to get involved in the drama. He wants to stay at the drop spot he knows, which I totally respect. He has more experience at that drop spot. They know the rotates better. Both spawn fights kind of suck, but Clix's team is a very scary team off spawn. So Muzz will not be dropping on Clix, but I know a lot of people think that he is. Don't worry. I DM'd him. I got it from the words straight from his mouth. He is not contesting Clix. Game number 2 on NA hasn't had too much of an effect on the grand finals drop map. We have Havoc, Silic, and Jargu qualifying. They are now going to be dropping the tennis court that's over near the fields. They are going to be contesting Ozone's team, so they are dropping on them, but not really a big name that was expected to win grand finals. It is worth pointing out now, with Silic winning this game, that means Neko's team has come second in the first 2 games in a row, which might sound insanely unlucky. Wait till I tell you how Shark placed on EU a little bit later, but they qualified going through. That one didn't change too much, but game number 3. Now remember, you probably already know about this, but Edgy's team got specifically griefed by Peterbot out of qualifying in groups. Their last chance to make it into grand finals and to potentially contest Peterbot having a huge impact on grand finals is in game 3. This is their last chance to qualify. They've both admitted if they qual, they are going to be contesting Peterbot. And now Pete can't go back to Demons, otherwise he has to contest Pollo. So everything came down to this game, and it was absolute cinema. Chance has no more meds. Dukes only has 110 in the chug jug. Edgy has the chug and the heal grenade, so Edgy still has good heal off potential, but he can't go down. It's Noah's team that's below him. We're going into the first order base. I don't think I've ever seen an endgame zone end here. We're in the hangar of the first order base. This could get very ugly depending on which way this zone pulls. We might get stuck in here. Or we can farm through here. No, we can't. We have to go through. We have to go through the first order base. There's a lot of players ahead of us. We have to make it count. Edgy getting in. Duke's getting in. Chance. They have to run straight into these opponents. They take down 2 with no damage taken back. Neko's team, after back-to-back seconds, are looking like they are not going to be going to grand finals as Edgy's team walks straight through them. They are pushing into the first order base. The zone is running perfectly down the middle, so they're not getting stuck in zone, but my curve across is starting to move. The zone is starting to go across. This could be bad. This is disastrous. Edgy gets stuck in the first order base. 1 minute and 15 seconds left, and there's no way out. They have to commit to the heal off. No, wait. Zone goes back through. This is one of the weirdest endgames I've ever watched. Northern's up above. Natmo's team is outside the first order base. Currently, Edgy's team is the only team inside, just praying the zones go the direction they want. They're running down the tunnel. Edgy has no idea where he's going. He's trying to find his way out. He needs to get into the open area. He does. Edgy in the hangar. He manages to get some open space. They don't go down. The dream is alive. Peterbot on the edge of his seat right now, just hoping the zone pulls in a different direction, but now they're going to get stuck. Wait. They're going to get stuck against this wall. There's still 30 seconds left. They're going to have to play the early heal off. And no, wait, no, it does. It goes perfectly out of the hangar. Edgy, Dukes, and Chance get blessed by the epic gods, and zone goes perfectly through the hangar to keep them alive. Only 4 builds left for Edgy, though. 0 now. Dukes has 22. Chance has 13, but Chance has the 200 chug jug. Got to drop it to Duke Bron James. Duke Bron James goes up. He's not playing the heal off. Dukes is going for the win. He's going up. He jumps in. Dukes takes down Naps on the high ground. He jumps in. I don't know why he hasn't played the heal off, but I like it. Meanwhile, Edgy, wait, that's why he hasn't played the heal off. Edgy has it under control. He has 3 chug jugs. He has the heal grenades. Cyrus, though, 3 chug jugs and a heal grenade. Wait a second. I don't think Edgy wins this. I don't think Edgy has the heal off. Zaya's still alive. He's going to deny the siphon. Zaya's not going to go down to Edgy. It's 3 chug jugs versus 2, but it's 2 heal grenades versus 1. The biggest concern right now, Edgy's team tanked a lot of Storm in this endgame. Cyrus has been on the high ground this whole time. He hasn't had to tank any Storm. I think this comes down to Storm Sickness, and I don't think Edgy wins it. Storm Sickness kicks in. Edgy doesn't win it. He's only 3 ticks from going down. He's popping the burn. He's panicking. He's doing everything he can, but it's going to be too little, too late. Edgy goes down to Storm Sickness in game 3, coming second. Missing out on grand finals by 1 place. Peterbot will remain uncontested. Damn. Holy shit. So fucking unserious, bro. Can you actually fucking see? Oh my god. I swear this season is scripted. Like, the storylines are just too good. That endgame was ridiculous, but don't worry, it gets even better. You're probably thinking, oh, Aussie, Edgy didn't qualify, now Peter's uncontested. No, not just that. The team that beat Edgy to qualify in game 3 is Nabs, Cyrus, and Zaya, and they did it from Demon's Domain. They contested Creon 3 games and won all 3 of them off spawn to go on and qualify. So where are they now going in grand finals? Demon's Domain. Pollo, Acorn, and Ages are now contested. Not only did Edgy not qualify to contest Peterbot, this is somehow completely 180'd, and now Pollo is the one contested. Like, genuinely, you cannot make this up. Now, the team has confirmed that is where they plan to drop. A lot of people still think they're just doing it for attention. That's not where they're actually going, but I've heard from Peterbot himself that Cyrus is actually a very good off-spawn fighter and does plan on going Demon's Domain. Now, probably think it's a little bit weird that Peterbot knows that and Peterbot saying that. There are some accusations going around that Peterbot has something to do with where this team dropped and where they're now dropping and how they played in the finals. There is, Peterbot coaching accusations going around, specifically taking this team under his wing to make sure they qualify, but it goes even further. Edgy and Dukes have now both announced their retirement from competitive Fortnite. I actually spoke with Edgy last week, and he was already planning on doing that after this grand finals anyway, regardless of how it went. I'm sure this didn't help the situation. I'm sure he hasn't. He said he had a lot of fun in this FNCS versing Peterbot, but it's got to be an interesting way to go out. But Dukes especially is not happy with Peterbot. Dukes actually took a screenshot from Peterbot talking to me in my Twitch chat about, the things he's done this season to get to where he is. And then Dukes replying, saying that he's offering to pay people around Peterbot money to grief him. You're probably thinking, Aussie, that's TOS. How could he do that? Well, Duke's just retired. He's not going to play the game anymore. Epic can't stop him. The only thing they can do is ban him from future tournaments, but he just quit. So this is going to be absolutely insane. Edgy, not going the TOS route, has offered to coach a team that wants to land on Peterbot in Brutal Boxcars. Pete's response to this was literally sending his drop map saying pretty much, yo, contest me, do your best. I'll even do you a favor to try to make it easier. I'm that confident I'm going to beat you. So right now, Dukes and Edgy, as much as they've announced their retirement, they're not stepping away from the Fortnite scene. They're doing one last chance to make sure Peterbot gets, his karma for what he did to them in groups. Now, obviously, however you feel about this one, this is going a little bit crazy, but Dukes is apparently accusing Peterbot of doing the same thing to him, paying people or influencing people around him to target him and make sure he doesn't make grands. It's all getting really messy this season. I'm interested to see how this is going to affect Peterbot. If you're a Clix fan or if you're a Canada fan or any of the other teams looking really good, finding out that Pollo is now contested and Peterbot is potentially going to get griefed is a good thing for you guys, but for Pete and Pollo fans, it's a little bit rough. I did want to give my opinion on the Pollo spawn fight. I'm not really sure how this is going to go. It is a very heavy 50-50 drop, and obviously Pollo has just managed to hold it down against Peterbot of all people. So chances are they're probably going to win out on spawn fight more than they lose. Let's say they even win 9 out of 12. That's still 3 games of getting 0 points though. And yes, it's Storm Surge. The elims are nice. 4 points per elim in grands is very nice. 12 points if you knock a trio. But at the same time, the Surge really isn't worth it when it's a quick 50-50. 300 or 400 damage doesn't really go that far when you can just hit 5 or 6 DMR headshots when you're trading and you're back at the same spot. So we'll see how it plays out overall. But if Pollo is getting contested 12 games out of 12 in grands, I have to probably think they are no longer the favorite in my opinion. But we have to see. We haven't seen these two teams spawn fight at all. There was grand scrims going on right after LCQ finals. Pollo's team winning 2 in a row to kick things off, uncontested. Pete's team looking solid, Clix looking great, Canada on top. All the teams looking really good, but I just don't know how it's going to go with these new drop spot situations. Moving on over to EU, we had game 1 won by an easy pick. iDrop, Hari, and Cammy. They came out pretty much similar to what Muzz did. 10 elim win. This trio is obviously too good for LCQ. They should have already been in grands. They got the Shockwave pistol early in the game, which they used to great effect to take height, hold it. It was one of the easiest wins I've ever seen. And honestly, it was probably the most convincing win on the day. But we had one team come second, Shark, a very big name. Obviously, Shark, Comeback, and Blaha, a lot of people's pick. My pick to qualify. That was their first second place. Keep that in mind. Game number 2, we had Howley, Dan DePuzzo, and Hizix. Now, they played really well, but they got extremely lucky getting a big refresh on high ground, building a big sky base. The zone pulled on the island, pulled back off. They held high ground the entire end game, and it came down to Shark and Dan DePuzzo in the 1v1. Shark had no heal off, and he almost pulled it off doing this. Shark chasing them down, no health, nothing to work with. Dan DePuzzo's weak. Can't get in, goes around the corner, hits the 98 pump shot and drops down, and Dan DePuzzo survives on 23 HP. Shark gets back-to-back seconds after doing everything possible to overcome a team that got given every advantage. That's gotta sting. An insane effort from Shark to almost win that one, but at this point I'm thinking, okay, back-to-back seconds, surely Game 3 is going to be their game. They're playing phenomenal. A lot of the good teams are qualifying through. This is their chance. No. Robin, Kylie, and Timu managed to win the game. They got a 4th place in Game 1, winning Game 3. And Shark, Comeback, and Blaha came second again. They came second 3 times in a row, so Shark is not in the grand finals. Like, this is so unfortunate. Again, full shout out to Kylie. If you guys remember, Kylie didn't make it through the group stage, announced his retirement. He is one of the OGs, then came back for LCQ with a new team and has now qualified. Now, it is worth pointing out, there are accusations being made by Shark himself right now about Kylie's team and why they should be disqualified. You guys know me. I don't like to go cheater checking. I don't like to go witch hunting and try and get people banned. Just want to let you guys know there are accusations that are getting a lot of attention. So there is a chance Shark, Comeback, and Blaha still make it to grand finals. It's a phenomenal team. I'd love them to get there. I hope someone doesn't get wrongfully banned in the way there. Again, not saying Kylie's team should or shouldn't be disqualified. I'm not looking into it too much. I'll let Epic make their decision. I wouldn't be mad to see Shark make it though after playing absolutely phenomenally. but it's just how Fortnite goes sometimes. Shark is a young player with so much potential. I'm sure he's going to hopefully learn from this one, keep his mental in check, and keep going strong. But if he makes it to Grands, I won't be mad either. As far as how these teams qualifying has affected the EU Grand Finals map, for the first time in what feels like forever, it's actually helped Mr. Savage. He now has one of the teams, Robin, Kylie, and Timu, contesting on the south of his split, but not contesting him, giving Mr. Savage good third-party potential. As far as iDrop, Hari, and Cammy, they're going to be going over to the span, they're going to the bridge, they're going to be contesting Rax, who has decided he is not going to go back to Mr. Savage. I thought for sure when iDrop qualified, that would mean Rax would leave the bridge and go back to contesting Savage, because everything always ends in Savage being contested, but right now, that is not the case. The last team, Howley, Dan DePuzo, and Hizix, are now contesting Pix, Dom, and Davis at Utopia, which will have a big impact on Grand Finals, as Pix's team was a lot of people's favorite to win Grand Finals.